All right, I'm at the Burlington, Vermont airport. It is August 9th, is it? Yeah. My daughter's going to drop me off in New Hampshire, and I'll start hiking, get a little bit of a few miles under my belt. It is smoking hot here. It is hotter here than it was in the desert in New Mexico, so it'll be quite an adjustment for me. All right, going to the car now. My pack made it. I was worried. I am on the AT in Vermont, and it feels like putting on a comfortable pair of old shoes. Just beautiful treadway, lovely blazes to guide me. The sun's coming up. I've been on the trail since 5 a.m. It's really hot here, so I decided to hit the hay early and get on the trail while it's cool. I'm making good time, and best of all, I met a hiker who knew me, so I'm not alone. That's wonderful. You have no idea how that lifts my spirits to know that people might be following me. So this time yesterday, I was on the Continental Divide Trail on my way to Chief Mountain at the terminus. And the wonders of modern transportation have brought me all the way here. So one night I sleep on the Continental Divide Trail. The next night I sleep on the Appalachian Trail. Pretty amazing. Also, I forgot to mention two people yesterday when I was talking about my hike. I talked about people who actually support me as a hiker, but this is not just a hike, it is a project. And two people that have been instrumental. One is a guy named Mike Mitchell who does the music for my videos. Such a talented musician, and I am in awe of his skills. And so lucky to have him set the tone for the project on my YouTube channel. And then there's Dave McNeely, who takes all my rough videos and makes me look good. And that is maybe one of the hardest jobs there is. So to both of them, I send my sincere thanks and hope you'll stick with me to the end. And well, that's it. I'm gonna try and get as many miles as I can today, as always. That goes without saying. And again, it's really hot, so I want to make use of these cool morning hours. This particular spot holds great meaning for me. It's the border between New Hampshire and Vermont, and in 2019 I hiked the AT, and this was one of the happiest days of my journey. I was southbound, and leaving New Hampshire and Maine behind was pretty significant. This is such lovely treadway. Oh my gosh. What a shocker compared to what I was going through yesterday and last week. Plus, you know, this particular section's pretty well blazed, and I really appreciate that. But the treadway is so distinct and well established that you can probably not, you don't even have to look for blazes. You know, the conditions, it hasn't rained here in a while, so if it had been rainy, then this would all be maybe muddy and slick, but it's not. There's no horses on here, no mountain bikes, no motorized vehicles, and so you just deal with the rocks and roots, and they don't get dislodged, and just really comfortable. Of course, there's elevation change, but that's the same on the other trails. So far, this has been good. When I get into whites, all that'll change. I mean, we'll get some serious elevation change, and I'll be going on sheer rock. But we're not there yet. I'm not. All right, it is getting serious here. We've got a wooden sort of ladder on this part, and as we get up higher, we're going to encounter rebar embedded into the rock. And I know that cameras don't do a good job of getting a perspective on how steep things are, but when you see rebar in the rock, that is really steep. They've got some rocks over here as steps, but now we're gonna try and do this rebar stuff. Yeah. And there are some people in New Hampshire that are against this because it takes away from the wilderness experience. It's altering the terrain, and I don't know, maybe they think there shouldn't even be a trail. Okay. All right, serious climb here. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to film as I do this if I want to survive. I'm on top of Mount Cube, 2,900 feet. That seems like a joke after being out west, but these eastern mountains are a lot lower elevation. Oh, welcome to my inner sanctum. I usually have the tent set up so late that it's too dark to shoot anything, but events transpired this afternoon that changed that. So I was hiking up Mount Moosilauke. It's Mount Moosilauke is a 4,500 foot tall mountain, which is tall for the East Coast, and it was hot. And I was sweating up a storm. It's a brutal hike, about 3,500 feet, and much of it is probably 2,000 feet at least, is essentially a boulder staircase, not finished, it's just a jumble of boulders that you climb up, and it's steep, and it was hot, and so my clothes were drenched, absolutely drenched with sweat. I know that's disgusting, but that's the reality of it. And as I neared the top, I was halfway, about a half mile from the top. I heard thunder, and there were clouds, and it started raining, and it started raining hard, and the trail turned into a raging stream. The storm continued, and I made the decision that it was time to set up the tent, which is never fun when it's raining, but I got it done. Just about everything is damp or wet. Tomorrow it'll be a job to get things dried out, but I'll have to do it. One reason I stopped is that the other side of Moosilauke is very steep and a lot of bare sheer rock. In some places they have rebar inserted into the trail so that you have something to grab onto, and you're not sliding down sheer rock. So I didn't want to tackle that in the wet. So that's it. I'm camped early, and hopefully I'll get an early start. I'm real sleepy. I started hiking at 4:15 a.m. this morning, and it's really disappointing to have only done 16 miles total. But I resupplied at that hostel, got my batteries recharged, and did some other business stuff. So it took a couple hours to do that, and just that brutal climb up that jumble of boulders was slow going for me, and that's the way it goes. I hope tomorrow I can make a better push. Sure glad I climbed over 3,500 feet yesterday. Oh, it's such beautiful views here on Moosilauke. Oh, I have all the luck on these mountaintops, let me tell you. Oh, I don't know if you can get a sense of how this is going downhill, but it is really, really steep, and the treadway is just boulders. So it takes a lot of concentration, especially because everything is soaking wet. Whoa. And just taking it slow, better to be safe. Well, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. I stepped on that wooden step right there, and it is slick as slug tracks, and so my feet went out from under me, and I landed down here. So I am really grateful it wasn't a sheer cliff. But that caught my attention, and I'm going to have to be way more careful. Way more. To hike in New Hampshire, you have to be 1/3 weightlifter with an emphasis on legs, 1/3 gymnast, and 1/3 contortionist. It's just absurd. So this is level. The camera doesn't capture really the perception of up and down, but if I tilt up, This isn't the trail, but that's straight up, and this is our trail. For as high as I can see, it just goes up. And it's not really hiking, it's problem solving, because you got to figure out the best route, the best place to put your foot, take into consideration if it's wet or not, look for handholds. It's mentally exhausting because, again, you have to plan every step. And which way should I go so that if I happen to fall, I'm not going to kill myself. I met a New Hampshire guy doing a hike with another friend, and he called it a lovely walk. A lovely walk. It is August 15th, and this is New Hampshire from the top of Mount Kinsman. There are wildfires in Canada that are affecting the air quality here, but still not too bad. And you can see I'm just about above tree line. All these trees are just dwarfed. All right, that's it. Okay, signage in New Hampshire. They always name the AT some other trail. So I came from this direction, and you could see a white blaze. But in this direction, there are no white blazes. And there's a blue blaze there. I missed it because I went down there about a quarter mile. I thought, well, maybe usually the shelters are along the trail, but that's a side trail to it. So the reason I went on that blue blaze trail is you can see here, it says Kinsman Ridge Trail, parentheses Appalachian Trail. And then over here they have a sign, and it says, "This is the Kinsman Ridge Trail." And sometimes they'll have blue blaze trails alongside the Appalachian Trail. So they'll have white blazes and another color blaze, whatever it is. So I look over here, and this is Fishin' Jimmy Trail. So they've changed the name from Kinsman Trail to Fishin' Jimmy Trail. This is the AT. And finally, I've got the right spot. So it's clear as mud once you figure it out. I am seated on a lovely boulder and having lunch. And the AT has changed names yet again. I don't know if you could see that. It would have to zoom in. But it changed from the Cascade Trail, and now it is the Liberty Spring Trail. And in 2.3 miles, I think I'm going to be on Franconia Ridge, which is a iconic spot on the AT. And last time I was here, Franconia Ridge was fogged in really bad. Had a hard time navigating through there. But looks like we're going to have good weather today. So look forward to shooting some views from up there.
There's plenty here. You don't have to share.
We also have a lot of snacks with that we've got to finish.
Off in the distance, there is Mount Washington, and if all goes well, I'll make it there the day after tomorrow. Be a big push, we'll see. This is Gale Hut, and I checked, but I'm too early. They're eating breakfast now, so there's no leftovers. My pack is sitting there with the white trekking poles next to the drinking water. But here's their view. When I was here in 2019, there was a pile of snakes, literally a pile, probably 8 or 10 snakes, all coiled up together. I don't know if it was a mating thing or what. I always think that the sky is more beautiful, the views are more beautiful in the morning. And I'm about to hike up South Twin Mountain. And that'll be the hardest part of my day. But get that over with right off the bat, and it should be smooth sailing down to the base of the Presidential Range, which is probably the scariest part of hiking the AT through New Hampshire. Mount Washington is part of the Presidential Range, and they're famous for having the worst weather in the world. I'll wear a lot of clothes on that day just in case. The weather can change in short order, and I don't want to be caught up there and getting cold and stuff. So it's 19 miles. I'm going to try and hike the whole thing in one fell swoop. We'll see if that works. That's Mount Washington in the distance. We're supposed to get rain, hail, high winds. Looks like a repeat of Moosilauke. You want to see what it looks like before the storm hits? The winds are already picking up. So this will not be the film fest I had hoped for, but safety comes first. Here we are at iconic Mount Washington. You can see that building down there has chains over it to hold it down. And look at the rocks beefing up that one. They have serious winds here. That's the iconic Mount Washington summit sign. So it's supposed to rain a little later. My face is in shadow. There we go. And I'm going to hurry up and try and get down before that rain hits, because it can come with high winds and hail too. So, all right. Good morning. It is a crisp morning. I think the storm that I hiked through for 4 hours yesterday ushered in some cooler air, and so it's good hiking temperature in the 40s. So I had some good things happen to me recently. I met a hiker from South Africa. His name was Shorty, really nice guy. And we talked a little about our hikes. And without any prompting, he said, "Oh, my word, the hike up South Kinsman was just absolutely brutal. And that's my contention. It was probably the worst stretch of trail in the 5,000 miles I've done so far. It was horrible. So that was that validated my beliefs. Thank you, Shorty. You made my day. And I met a young man from Quebec yesterday as I was hiking through the storm, and we hiked together for a while and looked for stealth campsites, and I really enjoyed talking to him. He was super nice, so that was another good thing. So I'm on a detour. There's a bridge that's out and it is off limits to foot traffic, so I'm not going to push that button. But I want you to notice I'm actually walking on trail. What a delight. I haven't done this in days. I mean, sure, there's some rocks, but no big deal. I can walk, and I don't have to look and evaluate each step and search for alternatives, and oh well, if I fall I'm going to get hurt if I go that way, and blah blah blah. So wow, I'm glad I got this detour. It's really nice. I like to kind of at least glance up as I'm hiking and look around and see the terrain and look at the trees and see if there's any critters. You can't do that when every step determines the future of whether or not you'll be able to continue the hike. And when you're going through a boulder field, that's the situation. Your foot could slip, and if you pitch forward, you've got a broken leg or a broken ankle, and I don't want that. So, meeting lots of hikers, and had a good night. I slept longer than I wanted to, but I got in over 20 miles yesterday across the Presidential Range, and that was my goal. And I guess I needed the sleep, so maybe I'll make it up today if the trail remains this nice. Let's hope so. Oh, okay. I'm headed up Wildcat Mountain. I don't know why they call it that, but I've been thinking about the Appalachian Trail a lot here lately, and what I've encountered. And what I've encountered is a trail that goes along mountain ridges and to mountain peaks, and over boulders unnecessarily. And I think they're straying from the mission that Benton Mackay set out. He set out to, yes, get people out into nature, but he also wanted to link communities. And I think the Appalachian Trail authorities have strayed from that. I mean, this trail is lovely, but there are not too many communities. Hikers, if they want to get their food, they often have to hitchhike. I think streams, rivers, even roads should be part of the Appalachian Trail, and communities, towns. And they tend to go in the other direction. To extreme isolation up on mountaintops. And yeah, they're quote views, but there's beauty in other places. Appalachia is not just mountaintops. So my 2 cents, not in charge, just voicing an opinion.